Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up because we are about to embark on a journey that will transform your perspective on success and achievement. If you want to win, don't focus on winning. Now, I know what you're thinking. That doesn't make any sense. How can I win if I'm not focused on winning? Well, my friends, that's exactly the mindset we are going to challenge today. You will understand why this seemingly paradoxical idea is the key to unlocking your true potential and achieving lasting success. Let's start with a simple truth. Success is not a destination. It's a journey. It's not about crossing a finish line and declaring victory. It's about becoming the type of person who is capable of achieving great things. And that's where our focus needs to be. When we obsess over winning, we often lose sight of what's truly important. We become so fixated on the end result that we forget about the process, the growth, and the learning that comes along the way. It's like trying to build a skyscraper by focusing only on the penthouse. You might have a beautiful vision of the top floor, but without a solid foundation and carefully constructed lower levels, that penthouse will never materialize. So, what should we focus on instead of winning? The answer is simple yet profound. Focus on becoming the best version of yourself. Focus on continuous improvement, on learning, on developing your skills, and on cultivating the habits that lead to success. Imagine two athletes preparing for a race. The first athlete spends all their time visualizing crossing the finish line first, obsessing over the trophy and dreaming about the glory of victory. The second athlete, on the other hand, focuses on perfecting their technique, improving their endurance, and maintaining a healthy diet. Which athlete do you think has a better chance of actually winning the race? The answer is clear. The athlete who concentrates on the process, on becoming better every day, is the one who's more likely to succeed. Why? Because they are not just dreaming about success. They are actively building the foundation for it. This principle applies to every area of life, not just sports. In business, the most successful entrepreneurs are not those who fixate on becoming millionaires or billionaires. They are the ones who are passionate about solving problems, creating value for their customers, and constantly innovating. The money and success follow as a natural consequence of their focus on excellence in service. In relationships, the strongest partnerships are not built by people who are obsessed with having the perfect relationship. They are cultivated by individuals who focus on being good partners, on communication, on empathy, and on personal growth. The healthy, fulfilling relationship is a byproduct of their commitment to these fundamental principles. In education, the students who truly excel are not those who are solely focused on getting straight A's or perfect test scores. They are the ones who develop a genuine love for learning, who are curious about the world around them, and who are constantly seeking to expand their knowledge and understanding. The excellent grades are a natural result of this passion for learning. Now, be clear. I'm not saying that goals and aspirations are not important. They absolutely are. Having a clear vision of what you want to achieve is crucial. But it's how we approach those goals that makes all the difference. Instead of fixating on the end result, use your goals as a compass to guide your daily actions and decisions. Let them inspire you to become the type of person who's capable of achieving those goals. This shift in focus from the outcome to the process is what separates the truly successful from those who merely dream of success. Let me share a personal anecdote that illustrates this principle. Early in my career, I was consumed by the desire to become a successful motivational speaker. I spent countless hours imagining myself on big stages, receiving standing ovations, and seeing my books on bestseller lists. But despite all this visualization and desire, I was not making much progress. It was not until I shifted my focus from becoming successful to becoming valuable that things started to change. I began to pour my energy into researching, learning, and developing content that could genuinely help people. I practiced my speaking skills relentlessly, not to impress audiences, but to communicate more effectively. I wrote and rewrote, not with bestseller lists in mind, but with the goal of providing the most useful information possible. And you know what happened? Success started to follow. Not because I was chasing it, but because I was becoming the type of person who deserved it. The audiences, the accolades, the book sales, they all came as a result of my focus on providing value and continually improving myself. This, my friends, is the essence of not focusing on winning to win. It's about redirecting your energy from the outcome to the process, from the destination to the journey. Now, how can you apply this principle in your own life? Break it down into actionable steps. Clarify your values. Before you can focus on becoming your best self, you need to know what that means to you. What are your core values? What principles do you want to live by? Take some time to reflect on these questions and write down your answers. These values will be your guiding light as you move forward. Set process goals. Instead of setting goals that are solely focused on outcomes, set goals that emphasize the process. For example, rather than I want to lose 20 pounds, your goal might be I will exercise for 30 minutes every day and eat a balanced diet. This shifts your focus to the actions you can control rather than the result you desire. Embrace continuous learning. Make a commitment to lifelong learning. Read books, take courses, seek out mentors, and always be open to new ideas and perspectives. Remember, the moment you stop learning is the moment you stop growing. Practice self-reflection. Regularly take time to reflect on your progress. Are your actions aligned with your values? Are you making consistent efforts to improve? What lessons have you learned from your experiences, both positive and negative? This self-awareness is crucial for personal growth. Celebrate small wins. While it's important not to fixate on winning, it's equally important to acknowledge your progress. Celebrate the small victories along the way. The habits you are building, the skills you are developing, the challenges you are overcoming. These small wins compound over time to create significant change. Embrace failure as a teacher. When you are focused on the process rather than the outcome, failure becomes less devastating and more instructive. See every setback as an opportunity to learn and grow. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this experience? How can I use this lesson to become better? The people you spend time with have enormous influence on your mindset and behavior. Seek out individuals who are also committed to personal growth and improvement. Their energy and attitudes will inspire and motivate you on your own journey. Focus on contribution. Shift your mindset from what can I get to what can I give when you focus on how you can contribute value to others. Whether it's in your job, your relationships, or your community, you naturally become a person of greater worth and capability. Remember that meaningful change and true success? Take time. Be patient with yourself and the process. Consistency and persistence are far more important than sporadic bursts of intense effort. Learn to stay present in the moment. When you are always focused on future outcomes, you miss the richness of the present experience. Mindfulness can help you fully engage with the process of growth and improvement. Now, I want to address a common concern that often arises when I speak about this concept. Some people worry that by not focusing on winning, they'll lose their competitive edge or their motivation. But nothing could be further from the truth. When you focus on becoming your best self, on continuous improvement and growth, you are actually building a much stronger foundation for success than you would by fixating on winning. You are developing the skills, habits, and mindset that make winning a natural outcome rather than a desperate goal. When you are overly focused on winning, you are operating from a place of lack. You are constantly comparing yourself to others, worrying about whether you measure up, and feeling the pressure to prove yourself. This mindset is draining and often counterproductive. On the other hand, when you focus on growth and improvement, you are coming from a place of abundance. You are not worried about what others are doing. You are concentrated on becoming the best version of yourself. This mindset is energizing and liberating. It allows you to perform at your highest level without the crushing weight of expectations. Let me give you an example from the world of sports. Michael Jordan, widely considered one of the greatest basketball players of all time, was not focused on winning championships when he first entered the A-Bay. His focus was on becoming the best player he could possibly be. He was notorious for his intense practice sessions, his commitment to improving every aspect of his game, and his relentless work ethic. Did this lack of focus on winning make him any less competitive? Absolutely not. In fact, it made him more competitive because he was competing against his own potential, always striving to be better than he was the day before. The championships came as a result of this mindset, not as the primary focus. The same principle applies in the business world. Look at companies like Apple or Amazon. Their success didn't come from an obsession with being number one in the market. It came from a relentless focus on innovation, on creating value for their customers, and on continually improving their products and services. The market dominance followed as a natural consequence of this approach. So, my friends, I want you to understand that by shifting your focus from winning to growing, you are not giving up on success. You are actually laying the groundwork for a deeper, more sustainable form of success. You are building a foundation that can weather any storm and support any height of achievement. How this mindset shift can impact your daily life. When you wake up in the morning, instead of immediately thinking about all the things you need to win at today, ask yourself, how can I grow today? What can I learn? How can I become a little bit better than I was yesterday? This simple change in your morning thought process can dramatically alter the course of your day. It puts you in a growth mindset right from the start. You are no longer seeing the day as a series of battles to be won, but as a series of opportunities to learn, improve, and become more capable. As you go about your day, look for chances to apply this principle. In your job, focus on how you can add more value, learn new skills, or improve your processes rather than on how you can outperform your colleagues or secure that promotion. In your relationships, concentrate on being a better partner, friend, or family member rather than on getting your own way or proving yourself right. When faced with challenges, and there will always be challenges, view them through this new lens. Instead of seeing them as obstacles to your success, see them as opportunities for growth. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this situation? How can this challenge help me become stronger, more resilient, or more skilled? This mindset is particularly powerful when it comes to handling failure. And let's be honest, we all face failure at some point in our lives. When you are overly focused on winning, failure can be devastating. It can feel like a direct attack on your worth and identity. But when your focus is on growth and improvement, failure becomes just another step in the learning process. It's not a reflection of your worth. It's simply feedback. It's information that you can use to adjust your approach, refine your skills, and become even better. I remember a time when I was preparing for a major speaking engagement early in my career. I had been so focused on wowing the audience and proving myself that I neglected to properly research the company and their specific challenges. As a result, my presentation fell flat. The audience was unengaged, and I could feel the energy draining from the room. It was a humbling experience, to say the least. But instead of letting it crush my spirit or make me doubt my abilities, I chose to see it as a valuable lesson. I realized that my focus had been in the wrong place. I had been more concerned with impressing people than with truly serving them. From that point on, I changed my approach. I began to focus intensely on understanding my audience, on crafting content that would genuinely help them, and on continually improving my ability to communicate effectively. The result? My presentations became more impactful. My audience is more engaged, and yes, my success as a speaker grew exponentially. This is the power of focusing on growth rather than on winning. It turns every experience, good or bad, into an opportunity for improvement. It keeps you resilient in the face of setbacks and humble in the face of success. Now, I want to address another important aspect of this mindset, its impact on your relationships and collaborations. When you are overly focused on winning, it can create a competitive, even adversarial dynamic in your relationships. You might see others as rivals to be beaten, rather than as potential allies or sources of. But when you shift your focus to growth and improvement, it changes how you interact with others. You begin to see everyone as a potential teacher, as someone who might have knowledge or skills that you can learn from. This openness to learning from others not only accelerates your own growth, but also fosters more positive, collaborative relationships. In the workplace, this can be transformative. Instead of seeing your colleagues as competition, you see them as part of a team all working towards collective improvement. You become more open to sharing your own knowledge and skills, knowing that teaching others often deepens your own understanding. This creates a culture of mutual support and continuous learning that benefits everyone. In personal relationships, this mindset fosters deeper connections. When you are focused on your own growth and improvement, you naturally become a better listener, more empathetic, and more open to different perspectives. You are less defensive because you are not trying to win every interaction, but rather to understand and learn. This approach to relationships, both professional and personal, creates a positive feedback loop. As you focus on your own growth and on supporting the growth of others, you create an environment that nurtures success for everyone involved. And in such an environment, your own success becomes not just more likely, but more meaningful. Now, I want to take a moment to talk about the long-term benefits of adopting this mindset. When you shift your focus from winning to growing, you are playing a different game altogether. You are no longer sprinting towards a finish line. You are embarking on a lifelong journey of improvement and self-discovery. This has profound implications for your long-term success and fulfillment. Why? Because unlike winning, which is often fleeting and always relative, growth is enduring and absolute. The skills you develop, the knowledge you gain, the character you build, these are yours forever. They can't be taken away from you, and they serve you in every area of your life. Moreover, this approach to life keeps you adaptable and resilient in the face of change. In today's rapidly evolving world, the ability to learn, unlearn, and relearn is far more valuable than any specific skill or achievement. By focusing on continuous growth, you are future-proofing yourself, ensuring that you can thrive no matter what changes come your way. Another beautiful aspect of this mindset is that it keeps you humble and hungry. When your focus is on winning, it's easy to become complacent when you achieve success. You might think you've made it and stop putting in the effort that got you there in the first place. But when your focus is on growth, there's always more to learn, always room for improvement. This keeps you motivated and engaged, constantly striving to be better than you were yesterday. Now, I want to share a visualization exercise with you that can help reinforce this mindset. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine two paths stretching out before you. The first path is labeled winning. It's a straight line leading to a shiny trophy at the end. The path looks smooth and enticing, but as you look closer, you notice that it's actually quite narrow, with steep cliffs on either side. One misstep and you could fall off. Now look at the second path. This one is labeled growth. It's not a straight line, but a winding path that seems to go on indefinitely. Along the way, you see opportunities for learning, challenges to overcome, and beautiful vistas to explore. This path is wide and forgiving, with plenty of room for missteps and course corrections. And while there's no single shiny trophy at the end, you notice that the path itself is littered with rewards, skills gained, wisdom acquired, relationships built. Which path would you rather be on? Which one offers more opportunity, more security, more fulfillment? The choice, my friends, is yours. But I urge you to consider the path of growth. It may not always be the easiest path, but it is undoubtedly the most rewarding. For the next 30 days, I want you to consciously shift your focus from winning to growing. Each morning, when you wake up, ask yourself these three questions. What can I learn today? How can I improve myself today? How can I add value to others today? Write down your answers and keep them with you throughout the day. Let these questions guide your actions and decisions. At the end of each day, reflect on how you've grown, what you've learned, and how you've contributed to others. This simple practice can be transformative, shifting your mindset and habits in powerful ways. Remember, this is not about ignoring your goals or abandoning your ambitions. It's about changing how you pursue them. By focusing on your personal growth and development, you are actually increasing your chances of achieving those goals and realizing those ambitions. You are becoming the type of person who can not only reach those heights, but sustain that success over the long term. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, this all sounds great in theory, but how does it work in the real world, in a competitive business environment, in a tough job market, in a world that seems to value winning above all else? These are valid questions, and I'm glad you're asking them, because the truth is, this mindset is not just some feel-good philosophy. It's a practical, powerful approach that can give you a significant advantage in any field or endeavor. Let's look at the business world, for example. In today's rapidly changing economy, the most successful companies are not those that are solely focused on beating their competition. They are the ones that are committed to continuous innovation, to understanding and meeting their customers' needs, to developing their employees' skills and potential. In other words, they are focused on growth, not just on winning. Take a company like Google. Yes, they're incredibly successful by any measure, but their success didn't come from an obsession with being number one. It came from a relentless focus on innovation, on solving problems, on creating value for their users. Their famous 20% time policy, which allows employees to spend a fifth of their work time on projects of their own choosing, is a perfect example of this growth mindset in action. Or consider Amazon. Jeff Bezos has often said that the key to Amazon's success is their focus on customer satisfaction rather than on beating their competitors. This customer-centric approach, combined with a commitment to continuous innovation and improvement, has allowed them to not just succeed in their original market, but to expand into entirely new areas. The same principle applies on an individual level. In today's job market, the most valuable employees are not necessarily those with the most impressive degrees or the longest list of achievements. They are the ones who are adaptable, who are constantly learning and expanding their skills, who can bring fresh perspectives and innovative solutions to the table. By focusing on your own growth and development, you make yourself indispensable. You become the person who can not only handle today's challenges, but anticipate and prepare for tomorrow's as well. This makes you far more valuable to any organization than someone who's simply focused on climbing the corporate ladder or outperforming their colleagues. But let's go beyond the professional realm. This mindset can have a profound impact on your personal life as well, and relationships. For instance, focusing on personal growth rather than on winning arguments or getting your own way can lead to deeper, more fulfilling connections. When both partners in a relationship are committed to their own growth and to supporting each other's growth, the relationship itself becomes a powerful vehicle for mutual development and shared success. In parenting, this mindset can be transformative. When parents focus on fostering their children's growth and learning rather than on achievements or accolades, they create an environment where children feel safe to explore, to make mistakes, to develop their own interests and talents. This leads to more confident, resilient, and ultimately successful children. Even in areas like health and fitness, this mindset can make a huge difference. When your focus is on the process of becoming healthier and stronger, rather than on reaching a specific weight or beating your personal best, you're more likely to develop sustainable habits and to stick with your fitness routine over the long term. Now, I want to address a common misconception about this approach. Some people here don't focus on winning and think it means settling for mediocrity or giving up on excellence. Nothing could be further from the truth. In fact, this mindset is the key to achieving true excellence. When you are overly focused on winning, you are often playing a short-term game. You might cut corners, take shortcuts, or prioritize quick wins over sustainable progress. But when your focus is on growth and improvement, you are playing the long game. You are building a solid foundation of skills, knowledge, and character that will serve you well in any situation. This approach actually raises the bar for excellence. Instead of comparing yourself to others or to some arbitrary standard of winning, you are constantly pushing yourself to be better than you were yesterday. This creates a never-ending upward spiral of improvement and achievement. Let me give you an example from the world of sports. Kobe Bryant, one of the greatest basketball players of all time, was known for his relentless work ethic and his commitment to continuous improvement. He was not satisfied with being better than his opponents. He was focused on becoming the best possible version of himself. Bryant was famous for his grueling practice sessions, often arriving at the gym at 4 and working out for hours before his teammates even showed up. He was constantly refining his skills, studying the game, and pushing his limits. This was not about winning individual games or even championships, although he certainly did plenty of both. It was about a dedication to the craft, a commitment to excellence that went beyond any specific outcome. This mindset allowed Bryant to not just achieve greatness, but to sustain it over a long career. Even as his physical abilities began to decline with age, his skill, his basketball IQ, and his mental toughness continued to improve. This is the power of focusing on growth rather than winning. The same principle applies in any field. Whether you are an artist, an entrepreneur, a scientist, or anything else, true mastery comes from a commitment to continuous learning and improvement, not from a fixation on outdoing others or achieving specific benchmarks. How this mindset can help you navigate failure and setbacks. Because let's face it, no matter how talented or hardworking you are, you will face failures and setbacks in life. It's not a question of if, but when. When your primary focus is on winning, failure can be devastating. It can feel like a direct assault on your worth and identity. But when your focus is on growth, failure becomes something entirely different. It becomes feedback. It becomes a learning opportunity. It becomes a crucial part of the growth process. Every great scientific discovery, every revolutionary invention, every breakthrough in human knowledge has come through a process of trial and error, of hypothesis and experimentation, of failure and learning. When Thomas Edison was working on inventing the light bulb, he famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." This is the growth mindset in action. By reframing failure as a step in the learning process, rather than as a final judgment on your abilities, you become more resilient, you are more willing to take risks, to try new things, to push beyond your comfort zone. And it's in this space, beyond your comfort zone, where real growth and breakthrough achievements happen. Moreover, this approach to failure can dramatically reduce stress and anxiety. When you are overly focused on winning, every challenge becomes a high-stakes situation. The fear of failure can be paralyzing. But when your focus is on growth, you can approach challenges with curiosity and openness. You are not weighed down by the pressure to prove yourself. You are liberated by the opportunity to learn and improve. This mindset is particularly crucial in today's rapidly changing world. The pace of technological advancement and social change means that the skills and knowledge that are valuable today might be obsolete tomorrow. In this environment, the ability to learn, to adapt, to grow is far more important than any specific set of skills or achievements. By focusing on your own growth and development, you are future-proofing yourself. You are developing the meta skill of learning itself, which will serve you well no matter what changes come your way. You are building the resilience and adaptability to thrive in an uncertain future. How this mindset can impact your leadership abilities, whether you're leading a large organization, a small team, or just taking charge of your own life, this growth-focused approach can dramatically enhance your effectiveness as a leader. Peak leaders are overly focused on winning, on hitting targets, on outperforming competitors, on looking good. They often create a culture of fear and short-term thinking. Employees become afraid to take risks or admit mistakes. Innovation suffers because people are more concerned with avoiding failure than with exploring new possibilities. But when leaders focus on growth, both their own and that of their team members, they create a very different kind of culture. They foster an environment of continuous learning and improvement. They encourage calculated risk-taking and view mistakes as learning opportunities. They invest in developing their people, knowing that as the team grows, so does its capacity for achievement. This type of leadership inspires loyalty and brings out the best in people. When team members feel that their growth and development are genuinely valued, they are more engaged, more creative, and more committed to the team's success. They're not just working for a paycheck. They're investing in their own growth and contributing to something larger than themselves. As we begin to wrap up our time together, I want to leave you with a few practical strategies for implementing this mindset in your daily life. Start each day with a growth intention. Ask yourself, what do I want to learn or improve today? Reframe challenges as opportunities. When faced with a difficult situation, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this help me grow? Celebrate effort and progress, not just outcomes. Take time to acknowledge the work you've put in and the improvements you've made, regardless of the end result. Seek out feedback and criticism. Don't just look for praise. Actively ask for constructive criticism. This can be uncomfortable, but it's essential for growth. Develop a learning routine. Set aside time each day or each week for deliberate learning. This could be reading, taking an online course, practicing a skill, or reflecting on your experiences. Surround yourself with growth-minded people. Seek out friends, colleagues, and mentors who share this mindset. Their attitude will reinforce and inspire your own commitment to growth. Practice self-compassion. Remember that growth involves discomfort and sometimes failure. Be kind to yourself in these moments, remembering that they are an essential part of the learning process. Remember, adopting this mindset is itself a growth process. It takes time and practice to shift your focus from winning to growing. There will be times when you fall back into old patterns of thinking. That's okay. The key is to recognize these moments and gently redirect your focus back to growth. I want you to remember this. True success, lasting success, is not about accumulating wins or accolades. It's about becoming the best version of yourself. It's about continuous growth, constant learning, and ongoing improvement. It's about focusing not on being the best, but on being your best. Don't focus on winning. Focus on growing. Focus on learning. Focus on improving, and watch as the world opens up before you, full of possibilities and opportunities for growth.